payments for the last 6 months.
He has.
Good evening.
And how you be?
This meeting is being held in accordance with the public laws of 1975, Chapter 231. An adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by a notice sent to the Star-Ledger, the local source, and posted in the main lobby of the municipal building and on the Township website. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for servicemen here and abroad. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mayor Huber?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Du Bois?
Yes.
Committeeman Capides?
Yes.
Committeewoman Stampoulis?
Yes.
Committeewoman Vassallo has pneumonia. I spoke with her today. She is sorry she cannot be here. She could just about talk for too long. So she thanks everyone and wishes everyone a Happy New Year.
And this is the last meeting scheduled right now for the year. Last meeting is me being mayor. So don't clap now, please. It's been a pleasure to serve you. It's been a pleasure to serve the community. I do appreciate your confidence in me. I'll be here for another year at least. Okay, we're going to start the meeting with I have a couple of awards to give out. First, for Jennifer Sherman.
If I told you we were doing this, you wouldn't be here.
No. Tricked you.
You weren't that red today.
Gotcha, look at her.
This is for all, this is to recognize all you turn red, pink, good. No. For the recognition of all the emergency services and administration department within the township, for submission within Jersey State Police for approval of the township emergency operation plan. I do appreciate all the work you do. We do appreciate it. Everybody out there.
Yes.
Don't run away. I mean, so obviously, why are we presenting Jennifer with the certificate? During the course of the year, the township has an emergency operating plan. This is it. We have to update it every 4 years for the county and the state, and it's a Herculean job. In it are all the different policies and procedures that the town would take in any number of different man-made or natural disasters. There are different rosters, phone numbers, agencies to call. If we set up a shelter, what we have to do. Everything that involves around an emergency is in the emergency operating plan. Every town in the state of New Jersey has to have one. It has to be updated. It's a tremendous task. Jennifer had to work with almost every department head in the town to get the information from them that goes into this. It's very complicated. It has to be in a format acceptable to the county and the state police. Not easy, I can tell you. And all the department heads she's working with in having to stop what they're doing and give her this information are busy doing what they normally do. It's not like they're just sitting around waiting for Jennifer to come. So it's a lot of coordination, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of effort, and she made this an easy process for me. She put this together, did a great job. We forwarded it to the county, and within a couple weeks we got a letter back from the state police saying they approved it. Didn't want any, and usually they ask for a change or they don't like something. They took it right away on the first submission. So this was a great job, and thank you very much for doing it, and that's why we went.
I have another award to do that. Sarah Abraham. Congratulations. This is for her dedication and support. Serving the Township of Springfield and comforting Springfield residents for the time of need. Congratulations.
Don't go away. So why did we give her this certificate? We have probably 20 auxiliary police officers. They all perform duty. But you may remember on November 15th, the snowstorm that seemed to bring the state of New Jersey to a complete halt. We paged out the auxiliary police to help with traffic control. Sarah was working that day. She came out, and while she was working, I know the seniors had gone on a bus tour to Bethlehem, was it? Casino, and it took them forever to get back, as it took anybody to go anywhere. They got back to the Chisholm School. The seniors were getting off the bus, and one of the seniors, who I believe was 92 years old, was getting to her car, and everybody was slipping, everything was icy, and I was happy to listen to the police radio when I heard Sarah on the radio say, well, she fell, and then a second later I heard, well, they fell, and it was like everybody was falling, and this woman was, a car was backing up and backed into her and hit her, and knocked her down, and she was injured pretty severely, and Sarah was right there to call it in. Regular police officers, I think, were around the front of the building, I think. They were nearby, they were sent over, but Sarah was there first, I believe, and was able to administer first aid, and comfort the woman, and take care of her until the regular department got there. And it was a great deed that she did, and we just wanted to acknowledge that and thank her for doing it. So, thank you again for taking care of it. You can say it. Just pretend there's not 1,000.
Yeah, it was a very slippery, kind of dangerous, cold, windy night. So I really just went out there to see, while I was on patrol, anybody that was in need, calling anything in, kind of just to assist the police department with what they were doing. And that's when I just kind of encountered what I did. I saw a woman in front of Chisholm, so I stopped to ask what she was doing. She was shoveling snow. And then one thing led to another, I just stuck around, and I was at the right place at the right time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank the committee for taking the time to do this. We have probably 20 auxiliary police officers and probably 12 or 14 CERT volunteers. They all do a great job. Every day they're out there to help, but this was just a little bit different. Sometimes the auxiliary officers will work and they'll drive around in the car all night and nothing happens, and it can be boring. And even if they're out there and nothing happens, they can be a deterrent to a crime that didn't take place because somebody saw the police car drive by and decided to go somewhere else. So they all do a terrific job, and I thank each and every one of them. Thank you.
This is quiet. Somebody I met 3 years ago. Didn't know her. It was in my neighborhood. We became friends. Consider her a very good friend. And her daughter a friend.
She's all right.
People don't realize, Libby's been here for 3 years also. A lot of meetings. But this is Sue Diane Nichols. In recognition of her tireless efforts and devotion to the Township of Springfield, Township Committee Woman, the Deputy Mayor in 2016, Mayor in 2017, Township Committee Woman in 2018. And thank you for all your help.
My pleasure.
And
It was an honor and a privilege and a extreme learning experience that I will never forget. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Since I really enjoy having a microphone in front of me, I just wanted to say a few words to our outgoing committee woman. Diane and I didn't know each other before we actually ran against each other, and obviously the better woman won that race because she got on the committee before I did. And I think everything happens for a reason, because eventually I obviously ended up on a committee and had such a fantastic time working with her over the last 2 years. I learned a lot from her. I know she's dedicated to the township. She does not play around when it comes to the finances, and she was always on point.
Cheap.
And, hey, in a good way, in a good way. And our daughters became friends because of our time together on a committee, and I think that's a great thing. And I just want to say I appreciate all the work you've done, and I just think I saw a lot of adversity that you faced over the last 2 years, and I just appreciate all the hard work you put in spite of that, and you'll be missed, and it was great working with you, so thank you.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Thank you.
If I could, Mr. Mayor, too, I would like to express my thanks to Committeewoman Stampoulis. Just getting to know her this year, I definitely appreciate her commitment, her effort, her knowledge of Springfield, her knowledge of finance. She certainly taught me a whole heck of a lot being on the Finance Committee. I thank her for holding my hand along with Michael Quick, just to get to know the nuts and bolts of what finance is in terms of the Township of Springfield, and really was the driving force behind our township's finances. And you know, when you become a township committee person, you expect, you know, some things to happen, and expect some types of, you know, adversity. And for someone in her position to get through that adversity and rise above it and become stronger for it, she definitely has my respect. And I appreciate, if you want to call it, quote unquote, working across the aisle. I couldn't have not have asked for a better committee person to work with, and I truly appreciate not only your efforts to the Township Committee, but to the residents of Springfield. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, if anybody would like to leave, like 2 minutes to leave, and you're stuck here.
That's it.
Jennifer Law, I need you back here. Okay. Seeing that. Maria Basaldo is not here. She also put a lot of effort and time in here. She's been sick for a while. I wish her all the best. So she put a lot of time in here. She was in meetings, and I just can't thank her enough for her effort. Yep. All right. Public comment on anything on the agenda. Agenda items only. Please, your name and address.
Hello.
Oh.
No, thank you. Oh, but you're selling something.
David Barnett, 136 Treetop Drive in Springfield. I guess this is on the agenda. First of all, Mayor Huber, I'd like to thank you for yet another great year of service to our town.
Thank you.
But more importantly, I served as mayor on the Township Committee as well. And what I'd really like to say tonight is Diane and Maria in absence. It certainly takes a big person and a very giving person to dedicate their life to this Township Committee, as well as to serving our town in multiple capacities. So I would like to thank you.
Thank you.
Again, you folks did a great job. Wonderful having you here. It's people like you, everyone else on the committee, who keeps our township going. It's a volunteer position. not often do you get someone saying thank you. You know what so I want to very clearly say thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate
And
that.
best of luck in the future. Happy holidays.
Thank you so much.
Anyone else on agenda items only? Seeing none? All right, we'll start. Reports.
Yep, I would like to make a motion to approve the payroll and vouchers from the period of November 28, 2018 to December 18, 2018 in the amount of $2,738,962.36.
I really don't want to, because it's your last one, and I really don't want you to leave yet, but regretfully, I second.
Roll call?
Committeewoman Stampoulis?
Yes.
Committeeman Capides?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor DuBois?
Yes.
Mayor Huber?
Yes. Okay. Minutes and reports.
I would like to make a motion to approve the regular and executive meeting minutes of October 23rd, 2018 as emailed.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Nice. All right.
I would like to make a motion to approve the regular and executive meeting minutes of November 5th, 2018 as emailed.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention?
Oh, I need to abstain.
Oh,
Oh, I apologize. I was not here. I was
Sorry.
on my vacation.
no problem. I thought you weren't here, but I said.
Yes, November 5th. I apologize.
All right, good catch. Ordinance?
Ordinance 2018-23, this is a second reading. This ordinance amends the code to add rental requirements for the Springfield Community Pool and Chisholm Community Center.
I move to adopt ordinance 2018-13 as read by Madam Clerk and publication in the local source for December 27th, 2018.
I second.
All right, public comment on it? Sure.
Stephen Friedman, 17 Evergreen Avenue.
All right, I'm sorry. Did you hear that? All right, I just,
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Being that not everybody...
go speak in the microphone so they can record it. That's, you know.
Does everyone hear me okay? Okay. I'll speak a little louder. Oh, okay. Well, if you could just talk a little bit about the final reading of this ordinance, and then for the public's knowledge, because some of us weren't here last time or haven't read the paper, and if you can go into, if you can talk about, I'm trying to read this, talk about ordinance 2018-24 before it's approved, or
23?
23
both of them, 23 and 24.
All right. Well, 23,
Thank you very much.
all right, is consuming alcohol beverage and the rental all-purpose room at the pool, am I correct?
Yeah, basically where we amended it to allow more flexibility and allow alcohol to be served in the multipurpose room. And Craig, I think you could speak on it.
Sure. So that's the main thrust of this ordinance. It's for the pool. It also imposes insurance requirements for those who rent those facilities and also the facilities at the Chisholm Center. And also requires an indemnification agreement to be signed as part of the rental agreement. And that's most of it. There's another component of it is it requires, if the township deems it necessary, depending upon the nature of the application and how many participants there will be, to have security present. And that's a decision to be made by the township in consultation with the chief of police and the director of the Department of Recreation.
Because we were losing rentals, because people, like, if you want to have a party, or, I wanted to have a dance there for the public during the summer. And I was at the pool talking to people, and they said, sure, we want to come, but if I want to have a beer, I can't have it there. Like, you know,
I'm a little concerned with alcohol being served on public property. It just seems a little bit, I understand the indemnification, the insurance, having to hire possibly a safety officer, a police officer. When there's alcohol involved and the government involved, it's concerning to me. So although it's going to be, a contract's going to be generated and drawn up, I appreciate your clear response as to the ramifications and liabilities that may occur or could occur. So I, for one, am against it. I'm just going to say as a citizen, I'm not really for that. And I think it should be reconsidered.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none from the public, close that portion of it. Discussion? Chris?
Just to clarify a little bit, because I was one of the people who worked on this, obviously not all the legal mumbo jumbo and all jargon, but presenting the idea as a pool subcommittee. Committeewoman Vassallo and myself were on the subcommittee along with Adam Lieb, and what we talked about was in the off-season, this would only be during the off-season, when the facility is rented out, similarly to other rental halls in the area, that we would allow alcohol to be served, because we wanted to open it up to expand the horizons of what kind of parties and events could be held there. So it won't be done during the summer when the pool is open, it's only in the off-season. And we talked about it with obviously the legal folks, and they amended everything so that it would work. And we spent a good month or two working on it, and I think it'll be a positive for the building, and it'll bring us a lot more business in that facility. And it's only at the pools, it's not Chisholm, it's only at the multi-purpose room in the pool during the off-season. I don't know if that clarifies it for anybody, but just to...
Diane, have anything?
Yeah, I'm good.
Roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Dubois?
Yes.
Committeeman Kappadis?
Yes.
Committeewoman Stampoulis?
Yes.
Mayor Huber?
Yes. Okay, on 24, you also asked a question about that.
Ordinance 2018-24. This ordinance amends the Township Code to create a Department of Engineering, Construction Services, and Code Enforcement. Uniformly renames the Building Department as the Construction Bureau within the new department, and amends other provisions of the Township Code relating to the new department.
I move to approve ordinance 2018-24 as read by Madam Clerk, publicized in the local source on December 27, 2018.
I second.
All right, I know the gentleman has some qualms about that. Anyone else have anything to say about this before our lawyer will discuss it? No, seeing none? Yeah, okay, all right.
So,
Or you
just to
want-
summarize the, did you want
Well,
to summarize
I
it?
can start first, and then you can pick up with everything else. But
Sorry.
basically, what this was, when I took over as the acting administrator, I visited all the departments. My job is to oversee day-to-day operations of all departments within the township. I did see, due to the structure that was in place, there was a lack of accountability in certain areas. So in order to correct that, we came about this. This took a while to put together, but it enabled us to put a stronger structure in place, which will then tighten up the accountability. I hold accountability very high in the police department, and I do in all departments while I hold this position. So that's what this is basically about. And a lot of the excess is just a matter of title changes throughout other ordinances where the old references were. And whatever I didn't cover, you can take it from there.
Covers it all.
Okay? Thank you. Discussion? Chris?
I think our chief cook said it best. We're looking to streamline services, improve customer service to our residents, and again, this took a lot of time to put together. I think it speaks to some of the concerns that were discussed, and I think it's for the best, putting our best foot forward.
Erica?
Nope.
Dan? A few years ago, we had complaints because we weren't people-friendly. We want to be people-friendly. I mean, you were going for something and have problems. Yeah.
Agreement 17, I didn't have a concern about it, more of just edification or understanding
Okay.
what the policy was. The first one I had an issue with, but I appreciate the chief, township administrator. I get him confused sometimes. He did provide a great response, and I think I understand what he's trying to do.
All right, thank you.
What the township is trying to do.
Thanks, Steve.
Roll call?
Committeeman Kappadis?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dubois?
Yes.
Committeewoman Stampoulis?
Yes.
Mayor Huber?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Resolutions, I'll call them out. 2018-291, 2018-292, 2018-293, 2018-294, 2018-295, 296, 297, 298, 299, 300, 301, 302, 303. I'm gonna pull that. 303, 304, 305, 306, 307, 308, 309, 310, oh man, 311, 312, 313, 314, 315, and 316. And the only reason I pulled that one was number
2018
303.
This resolution approves retiree medical coverage to full-time employee Joseph Sarno upon his December 31, 2018 retirement.
I just want to show someone who did retire during the year, and he gave the town a lot of time. He was in charge of, if your leaves got picked up, he was always in the office. He was in charge of getting us grants, helping us get grants at that time. He did numerous things for us. So I think it was very good for the town. His father was here before him. So I wish Joe all the luck in the world. You can include that in it, you know. You want to?
So we're not technically not.
Just thank him for service to the township.
Yeah. You can go, you can include that in it. That's all I want.
Should we pull 307? Should we pull 307?
307. Township,
Want to pull that?
Yeah, just talk.
Oh, yes,
Just
307. Oh, 307, all right. We'll approve all these and then we'll go back
Yeah.
to 307.
All right, so we're gonna, you wanna just continue with the approval for 303,
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor?
Yeah, well, yes.
Because Madam Clerk, actually read it for us.
Yes.
So,
You want to make
Okay.
a separate motion for that? or-
Yeah, make-
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve Resolution 2018-303 as read by Madam Clerk.
I second.
Roll call.
Okay, Committeewoman Stampoulis?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dubois?
Yes.
Committeeman Kapidis?
Yes.
Mayor Huber?
Yes. You want to approve all the rest and then we'll go into
Yep.
presentation? Approve all the rest, any other resolution?
I make a motion to approve resolutions 218, 291. I'm gonna read this one at a time. I'd like to make a motion to approve resolution 218, 291, 292, 293, 294, 295, 296, 297, 298, 299, 300, 301, 302, 304, 305, 306, 308, 309, 310, 311, 312, 313, 314, 315, and 316.
I second.
Roll call, please.
Committeeman Kapidis?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Dubois?
Yes.
Committeewoman Stampoulis?
Yes.
Mayor Huber?
Yes. All right, read.
Resolution, excuse me, 2018-307. This resolution is designating Block 101, Lots 1, 34, 45, and 46 within the township as a non-condemnation area in need of redevelopment under the local redevelopment and housing law.
Can I have a motion? Well, motion for, motion first, and then we'll
I
go
make a
back.
motion to approve resolution 218-307.
I second.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to bring Matt, our lawyer, for a small presentation about it.
I just thought this is something the public would like to hear, and I think it would be good to hear about it when Matt's here,
Yes.
because he'll do a much better job explaining it than any of us.
We'll certainly try. Good evening, Mayor, Committeeman, Matt Jessup, McManaman, Scotland, and Bauman, your redevelopment council.
This resolution is determining whether you believe that Block 101, lots 1, 34, 45, and 46, which are more commonly known as the Saks property or the Stop and Shop property on Milburn Avenue, are an area in need of redevelopment under the local redevelopment housing law. You may recall that back on September 25th, you all adopted a resolution referring this property to the planning board and directing the planning board to hold a public hearing and make a recommendation back to you as to whether or not these properties do meet the criteria as an area in need of redevelopment. In accordance with that directive, Keenan Hughes, the township's redevelopment planner, prepared a map, prepared a study dated October 2018, which has been on file and available to the public since October 2018. And that study details why all of the 4 lots do meet one or more criteria as an area in need of redevelopment. The planning board held its public hearing on that report earlier this evening. At that planning board meeting, Keenan Hughes testified before the planning board, presented the conclusions in his report, and gave the reasons as to why all 4 properties meet one or more criteria as an area in need of redevelopment. The planning board asked questions of Keenan. They opened the hearing to the public. No one spoke, and certainly no one objected, importantly, at the public. And at the close, the planning board unanimously adopted a resolution recommending that this governing body designate these 4 properties, these 4 lots, as a non-condemnation area in need of redevelopment. Very briefly, Keenan couldn't be here tonight, but very briefly, Lot 1, which is the largest of the lots, met 3 criteria as an area in need of redevelopment. And you can see here, this was presented to the planning board members. It's also an exhibit in Keenan's report, which I know you all have. I think it sort of speaks for itself in terms of the conditions of the site and the building. But Lot 1, which does contain the current building, met 3 criteria. Criteria A, the building being substandard, unsafe, unsanitary, and dilapidated, and it's obsolescent. Standalone department store retail is no longer really a viable business in 2018. And as a result, it provides for unwholesome working conditions. And that was criteria A. Criterion B, the discontinuance of a building previously used for commercial purposes. This property was abandoned as a Saks about 27 years ago, so quite a long time ago. The abandonment of that building and having it fall into such a great state of disrepair that it's untenable. Which is certainly, again, from the conditions you see here, an easy conclusion to reach. And the third criterion with respect to the first property was criterion D, dilapidation, obsolescence, faulty arrangement or design, and excessive land coverage, which are detrimental to the safety, health, morals, or welfare of the township. Certainly the condition of the property, not just the building, but the parking lot itself, the poor lighting, the poor signage, the poor circulation, and the fact that 7+ acres out of 9.5 of this property are a surface lot, which is not consistent with mixed-use, downtown, vibrant redevelopment, again, meeting the criterion D. The other 3 lots, 34, 45, and 46, all met criterion D. You only need to meet 1 criteria of the redevelopment law in order for each lot to qualify. But again, Lot 1 so with that being presented to the planning board and with the planning board having adopted a resolution recommending that the township committee consider this an area in need of redevelopment, you have a resolution before you that would in fact designate these properties as a non-condemnation area in need of redevelopment. That is the first of a 2-step process for the township committee to be able to access all of the broad and significant powers under the redevelopment law. The second step would be creation of a redevelopment plan, which would be created by the township committee and referred to the planning board at a later date, and upon receipt of findings and recommendations of the planning board, adopted by this governing body by ordinance. Second step in the process. So tonight we're here to finish step 1 and to declare the properties as an area in need of redevelopment.
As it is, but does the public have any questions for him? I mean, I would let the public ask any questions if there's anything. All right. Seeing none, thank you, Matt. Roll call, please.
Right. Committeeman Capides?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Du Bois?
Yes.
Committeewoman Stampoulis?
Yes.
Mayor Huber?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, discussion and actions. Approval request from the fire department to use private-owned property at 226 Morris Avenue and 31 Medville Drive for purpose of training prior to buildings being demolished.
Mayor, I'd like
Along
to
with agreement.
make a motion to approve the request from the fire department to use privately owned property at 226 Morris Avenue and 31 Midvale Drive for purposes of training prior to buildings being demolished, and the hold harmless agreements have been provided.
I second.
All in favor, right?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any abstain? Any abstention? Approve request for Rachel Gordon, MBA, MFA candidate, New York, NYU, Trish School of Arts to film in Municipal Lot 2 on December 29th. Certificate of insurance and hold arms. We have those certificates.
I move to approve that request.
I second.
All right, and that's, just so people know, it's a Saturday and it's Duffy's Corner.
Yes,
Right, and
and
that-
there will be a police officer there. They will hire
Okay.
police.
They will hire a police officer. Let's not cross anything, so all in favor?
Aye.
Any objections, any abstentions? No. Any correspondence?
No.
Unfinished business?
Yes.
Public?
Mr. Mayor, if I may, we spoke about a lot of people tonight. I certainly want to acknowledge Committeewoman DeSallo and her dedication and commitment to her township and our residents, and I thank her very much for her service. But I also want to take a mention of, thank you, Mr. Mayor, for your service this past year. Not only do I consider you a fellow township committee person, but I also consider you a dear friend, someone who's always willing to listen. You've led us through an aggressive agenda this year, included a good budget, saved tax dollar money. Under your watch, we've had two developments take a big step forward to see movement in early 2019. And we just really appreciate your leadership and your dedication. Certainly with that, we have to thank Ginny, because without Ginny, I think, she's a big part of that. But I thank you, Rich, for your time, your dedication, and your service to the community, and I look forward to working with you next year.
Thank you.
I agree with Chris's sentiments. I don't know a person who knows more about what's going on in town than you do, and you simply do this because you really care about the town, and it's clear once you get to know, once somebody gets to know you, that's evident, and we just appreciate what you have done, what you did this year, and what you'll continue to do, and I just appreciate being able to work beside you, so thank you for everything.
Thank you. All right. Ready? All right, public comment on anything you like? Nothing? Olivia, nothing? Your last meeting?
Nah, she's gonna come
You
back.
can come
We're gonna
back.
go watch
You can go.
Delaney.
I'll protect you, Olivia, from your mother. No, I'd like to thank the public, Matt, for having confidence in me, for me electing me, and then also the township committee for electing me as mayor. I appreciate it. I love the town. My family's here. I'm here forever, so.
Oh, God.
There's no way I can get out. Linda and I will be here forever.
Ever?
No. So, with that, adjournment,
Absolutely, Mayor Huber.
and I will second your,
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I will second.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good holiday.
Yes, happy holidays.
All right, Happy New Year.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you.
Diane.
Thank you, thank you.
And